In the last session, Raarh and Mira had a surprisingly deep 4 a.m. conversation while she scrubbed blood off the deck. Raarh admitted fighting makes him feel alive, but he gets that for others, it's just horror. Things got real when Mira revealed her parents sold her for 3 gold and a goat when she was 6, ending up in a brothel before Elric rescued her at 8. A prisoner was dying from infection in the hold. When Raarh went to grab him, some desperate idiot headbutted him. Bad move. Raarh smiled, raged, and cleaved the guy perfectly in half horizontally with Nepthet Ka. Mira threw up. The other prisoners were screaming. Despite being terrified and shaking, Mira cast her first unsupervised cure wounds and actually saved the dying prisoner. Diego had him moved to his quarters for interrogation. Tronald joined and they learned he's Kadir Danes. Explained how Zephyrian provincial fleets turned to piracy after the Golden Hand went silent and support stopped. Then Tronald massively fucked up by casually dropping Zirenthal Kaladin's name, compromising their operation. Diego said Kadir would need to be dealt with, but Tronald offered modify memory instead. He then pitched recruiting willing prisoners like they did up north. Diego agreed to test it with Kadir. And that's where we left off. So, you've pitched your question to Kadir, and the question was, would you like to repeat it, Tronald?
Oh yeah, sure, no problem. So, we need to understand who you are, Kadir, not just what you've done. Tell us.
I am Vasarin Kadir, common sailor, son of a tradesman. There is not much else to tell.
Where are you from?
Small coastal village. You would not know it. No one knows it.
Try us.
Chalmerin, 3 days north of the provincial capital. My father ran a trading post, salt, dried fish, basic goods for travelers. It was small, respectable, but small.
And you didn't want small.
Kadir's quiet for a moment.
No, Captain. I did not want small. I wanted to matter. To be more than the man who sells salt to merchants passing through a village no one remembers.
So you joined the fleet?
3 years ago, yes. My father had died the year before. The trading post was mine, but I could not stay. Every day in that place reminded me that I was living his life, not mine.
And what were you hoping to find at sea?
Purpose, I suppose. Glory, perhaps. A way to prove that I was more than the circumstances of my birth, that a tradesman's son could matter.
And did you find it?
Kadir's face does something complicated. Shame, bitterness, resignation all mixing together.
For a time, yes. The first year was good. We protected merchant convoys, kept pirates away from our waters. I felt like I was part of something greater. I had brothers in the crew. We sang songs, shared rations, watched each other's backs. It was what I had hoped for.
What changed?
The orders, or rather, the lack of them. 6-7 months ago, communications from the capital became irregular. Then they stopped entirely. Our Keshandaros, Ajeros Vrendaros, he gathered the fleet captains, told us the situation was changing, that we would need to become self-sufficient.
He turned you into pirates.
He called it securing provincial resources. He said we were protecting our people by ensuring they had food, supplies, coin. That taking from foreign merchants was no different than taxation.
But you knew better.
I knew it felt wrong, Captain. The first ship we raided, it was a merchant vessel carrying grain. Just grain. The crew was unarmed, untrained. They surrendered immediately, and we took everything. Left them with 1 day's rations and a broken ship.
How did that feel?
Like theft, like betrayal. But Carvel Rashim said it was necessary, that we were following orders, that a soldier does not question, he obeys.
And you believed him?
He leans forward slightly, still in the chair.
I wanted to believe him, Captain. Because if he was wrong, then what was I? A thief? A pirate? I joined the fleet to be better than my circumstances. Instead, I became worse.
His voice cracked slightly on that last sentence.
The first man I killed, I remember his face. Older merchant, maybe 50 summers. We boarded his ship and he tried to protect his cargo with a belaying pin. Just wood. Nothing that could hurt us. But Carvile Mazir ordered us to make an example, so I ran him through. Watched him bleed out on his own deck.
I'm sorry.
Why? You did not force me to do it. I made the choice. I followed the order.
You were put in an impossible situation by people who had power over you.
That does not absolve me. I still hold the blade. I still remember his eyes.
There's a long silence in the cabin. Diego exchanges a glance with you.
Kadir, what if I told you there was a different way? A way to matter that doesn't require becoming something you hate?
I would say that sounds like a story told to children, Captain. The world does not work that way.
It doesn't. Not yet, but it could.
What do you mean?
We're not just another set of pirates or merchants or naval officers playing the same games. We're part of something bigger, something that's trying to change the rules entirely.
Kadir's quiet for a long moment, just staring at Diego.
I am not certain I follow, Captain.
The same systems that failed you in Zephyria, they exist everywhere. Auroros, the twins, Zephyria, different names, same rot. People born into power, keeping that power, no matter how many others suffer for it.
And you think, what? That you can change this? Reshape the world?
We're already doing it. One person at a time, one choice at a time.
Give me an insight check, Tronald. Let's see if you can read how he's taken this.
That's a 17.
With a 17, you can see he's genuinely considering this. His eyes aren't on you or Diego anymore. They're distant, processing. His hands, bound behind his back, keep clenching and unclenching. He's scared, but not of you. He's scared of hope, of believing in something that sounds too good to be true.
What would this involvement require of me?
Honesty first. We need to know who among your fellow prisoners can be trusted, who believes in something beyond survival, who's capable of choosing a different path.
You want me to identify my comrades? For what purpose?
So, we can offer them the same choice we're offering you, but we need to be smart about it. Some men, they're not looking for a better world. They're just looking for their next opportunity to hurt someone.
This is true. There are men among us who enjoy the work, who volunteered for the raiding parties because they like the violence.
Those men can't come with us. You understand that, yes?
What happens to them?
That depends on them. If they're willing to change, to try, we'll give them a chance. If they're not...
Diego lets that hang in the air. Kadir swallows hard.
I see. And the others? The ones who are like me? Who did what they had to but took no pleasure in it?
Those are the ones we want, the ones who still have their conscience, the ones who can look at what they've done and feel shame instead of pride.
There are many such men, my lord. Good men forced into bad work.
Then help us identify them. We'll interview each prisoner individually, separate them into groups based on their character, their potential. The ones we trust, they join us. The ones we're uncertain about, they get a chance to prove themselves. The ones who refuse or can't be trusted,
They die.
There's a long pause where the only sound is the bashing of waves against the ship as you move.
They make their own choice, same as you're making now.
Kadir's breathing is faster now. You can see sweat on his forehead despite the cool cabin.
If I do this, if I help you, what happens to me?
you become part of the crew. Provisional at first, until you prove yourself. But if you're genuine, if you work hard and show you believe in what we're building, you'll rise based on merit. Not birth, not connections, merit.
And if I refuse?
Then you're a prisoner until we decide what to do with you. We're not monsters, Kadir. We won't kill you for saying no, but you won't be free either.
That is surprisingly merciful.
Another long pause, then Kadir nods slowly.
I will help you. Not because I fear death. I have accepted that possibility since I went to sea. But because what you describe, a world where a tradesman's son can matter as much as a Keshan's heir, I would like to see such a world, even if I do not live to do so.
You'll live to see it, Kadir. That's the point.
Good. First question. Your two remaining Carvaels, the captains, what kind of men are they?
Them. Carvile Rashim is old guard. Believes in the hierarchy absolutely. He served under 3 different Keshendaros before Acheros Frendaros. To him, the system is sacred, immutable. He will never betray it, even if it has betrayed him.
And the other?
Carvel Mazir is younger, maybe 40 summers. He is different. He enjoys the raiding. Before we turned to piracy, he was frustrated, I think. Wanted more action, more violence. When the orders changed, he was pleased. He volunteers for the most dangerous boarding actions because he likes the chaos.
So one ideologue, one sadist.
Crude, but yes, Captain. Neither will join you. Rashim because his honor forbids it. Mazir because he has no interest in a better world. Only a more violent one.
Anyone else we should know about? Problem cases?
There is Vasarin Kelet. He was a pit fighter before joining the fleet. Killed 3 men in a tavern brawl and fled to sea to avoid execution. He is strong, skilled, but unstable. Quick to anger. Some of the men fear him more than the officers.
Would he follow orders if he believed in the cause?
I do not know, Capitan. I am not certain he believes in anything except survival.
Not sure I can blame him with the whole survival thing. Is there any better thing to believe in? But being quick to anger is dangerous if they're not fully with you.
We'll interview him. See for ourselves. Anyone else?
The Vakorin, quartermaster. His name is Vakorin Idris. Smart man, educated. He can read, write, do mathematics. Before the war, he worked for merchant houses, keeping ledgers. He hates what we have become, but felt he had no choice.
He sounds promising.
Good. We'll talk to him next. Is there anyone you'd recommend we speak to? Men you trust?
Vasarin Tarek served with me for 2 years. Good man, steady. Has a wife and daughter back in Salvashir. He fights because he must, but sends every coin home. He would do anything to see them again.
That's useful. Personal stakes make for strong motivation.
There is also Vasarin Yassir. Young, maybe 20 summers. This was his first voyage. He vomits after every battle. Cannot stomach the killing, but fears being branded a coward more than he fears death.
We can work with that. Fear of shame can be redirected toward better purpose.
Diego walks to the door, opens it slightly.
Garrett, bring up Vakorin Idris next, the quartermaster.
Aye, Captain.
Diego closes the door, turns back to Kadir.
You've been helpful, Kadir. When this is done, assuming everyone's honest, you'll be Group 1. That means you work alongside the crew, no restrictions, full rations, full trust.
I thank you, Captain. I will not disappoint you.
Let's hope not, because if you do, there's nowhere to run out here.
A few minutes pass. Then there's a knock at the door. Garrett enters with another prisoner, this one older, maybe late 40s, with ink-stained fingers and intelligent eyes. His clothes are better quality than Kadir's, though torn and bloodied from battle.
Vakorin Idris, Captain. Quartermaster.
Thank you, Garrett. Stay close in case we need you.
Garrett nods and steps back outside.
Am I to be executed, or is this torture?
Neither. We want to talk.
About what? My crimes? my allegiances, how best to dispose of me.
About your future.
Idris actually laughs at that, a short, bitter sound.
My future. Captain, I am a prisoner on a ship in the middle of nowhere. My future is measured in days, perhaps hours. Let us not pretend otherwise.
Sit down, Idris.
Idris hesitates, then sits in the empty chair. Diego doesn't tie him, a calculated show of trust.
Captain, you've got this handled. I'm going to go talk to Saxy, figure out the logistics of the situation we talked about.
Good thinking. I'll continue with the interviews. Send Garrett back in, will you?
Of course. Joe, I leave the room and say to Garrett, Captain wants you.
What's the play? Good soldier, bad soldier?
Not sure. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I'm sure.
He walks through the open door and shuts it behind him. The sound of Diego's voice starting to question Idris is muffled but audible. You head back out onto the deck. It's maybe 7 a.m. now. Sun's fully up. The crew's moving around, morning watch, basic maintenance, cook shouting about something. You look up and Saxy's still in the crow's nest, just sitting there with his armored arm resting on the railing.
I'm going to climb up to him.
Give me an athletics check.
Are you serious?
It's not high, brother. Just given your strength and general physical composition, and it'd be reckless of me to assume your ability to scale a rope ladder without verification.
That's an 11.
Absolutely fine. It takes you some time. You're not exactly built for climbing, and that rope ladder is swaying with the ship's movement. About halfway up, you have to stop and catch your breath. A sailor walking by notices and tries very hard not to smile. But you make it, eventually. You haul yourself over the edge of the crow's nest platform, and Saxy looks over at you.
Fucking hell. Why can't they add like a magical lift or something? That was ridiculous.
Why didn't you just fly up?
Spell conservation.
Why? What do we need spells for right now?
I don't know. Maybe we get attacked. Maybe something happens. I like having spells available.
Meh. I guess that makes sense. But in all honesty, I think you made the wrong choice.
Analysis confirms decision was suboptimal.
Thank you, Pendleton. Very helpful.
Joe, Saxy's grinning now. It's the first time he's looked anything other than haunted since the battle. So what's up?
We're recruiting them.
Recruiting the prisoners?
Diego and I talked it over. Most of these guys, they're not bad people. They're just trapped in a shit situation, forced to turn pirate because their own government abandoned them.
And you think they'll join us? Just like that?
Not all of them. We're sorting them into groups. The ones who are genuinely remorseful, who want something better, they join the crew. The ones who are uncertain but not hostile, they get probation, supervised freedom. The ones who can't be trusted.
They don't make it off the ship.
Yeah, that's the dark part of this plan. It's unspoken, but when we expose the concept of the rebellion, well, it's just one of those things, isn't it?
I guess. Saxy's quiet for a moment, Joe, looking out at the ocean. How many do you think will join?
Don't know. By the sounds of what Kadir was saying.
Kadir? That the guy who had the infection?
Yeah. Well, anyway, what I was saying was, by the sounds of what he was saying, it could be easily more than half. At least that's what I hope. But that brings up our problem.
Which is?
Food.
Yeah.
We're already rationing for the prisoners with mandatory shit. If we add 30 permanent crew members, we've got to give them equal to us. And we starve far quicker than initially expected.
Right. So, I did some thinking about that. Pendleton, pull up my spells.
Displaying available magical capabilities.
Yeah, thought so. I have Create Food and Water. It's a higher level spell, which means I can only cast it twice per day right now. Each casting creates enough food and water to sustain 15 people for 24 hours.
So that's 30 people covered every day.
Exactly. It's not gourmet. Magically created food is bland, kind of tasteless, but it's nutritious and filling. Covers basic caloric needs.
That's huge. That alone takes the pressure off significantly.
We'd still need to supplement the remaining prisoners, but it makes the math work.
What about fishing? Could we set up nets, do some trawling while we're moving?
Maybe. I don't know much about fishing at sea, but Bondover might. He's been sailing forever. And Raarh or Cook would know how to process whatever we catch.
So between your food creation, fishing operations, and rationing what we have, we could sustain maybe 80, 90 people.
For a time at least. But it's at least enough time to get to wherever we're going. Drop off the ones we can't keep and resupply.
About that, I was thinking we'd maroon the probationary group and the uncertain group on islands, separate islands. Then I use Tanavir's projection to contact Amlaroon, have them send a ship to pick up the ones worth recruiting.
Tanavir's projection? Oh, the talkie-talkie distance box. That's the video call spell.
It's not called Ugh, yeah. I can contact Zabers, then they can coordinate a pickup, get these guys integrated into the rebellion properly.
And the ones in Group 1? The ones you trust immediately?
They stay with us, work alongside the crew, prove themselves on the journey.
That's actually a solid plan. Risky, but solid.
Risk assessment indicates 47% probability of complications arising from prisoner integration.
That's better odds than I expected, honestly.
The only thing I'm struggling to figure out is how we get rid of Group 4.
Now, what do you mean?
We can't let them free. Their journey ends here, but how do we end it? If we do it too soon, we risk corrupting the goodwill of the other groups. Like, Kadir seemed to understand the concept we're facing. He gets that some men can't be saved. But Groups 2 and 3, seeing us execute prisoners might be enough to sway them against us entirely, turn them from uncertain allies into enemies.
So if what? We just keep Group 4 locked up?
Same problem, different timeline. The longer they're here, the more likely they corrupt one of the others, distort the original perspective we saw in them that made us place them in Groups 2 or 3. They'll whisper through the walls, plant doubts, turn uncertain men into hostile ones. No, we need to get rid of them. The question is how and when.
I think you need to decide, brother. No point asking me.
Why not? You're part of this.
Because when you're emperor, you'll have to make a lot of these decisions, alone, in a room, with everyone waiting for you to choose who lives and who dies. This is practice for that, isn't it?
Even then, if that ever does happen, I'd still ask for your opinion.
Would you?
Of course. You think I want to make these choices alone?
That's actually really nice of you to say.
I mean it.
I know you do. That's what makes it nice.
Another pause. The ship creaks. Somewhere below, a sailor is singing off-key.
All right. Well, in that case, I'd suggest at night. Make it look like an escape attempt. Make it quiet. No spectacle. No announcement. Just gone. By morning, the other prisoners wake up, and Group 4 is missing. We tell them they tried to escape, went overboard. Tragic. Unfortunate. But their own doing.
So what? Garrett takes them up at night, throws them overboard with cannonballs attached to their legs?
Jesus. It felt better in my head. But when you say it out loud like that, that's execution, Tronald. That's murder. We're tying weights to prisoners and drowning them in the dark.
Yeah, but it's necessary. These aren't people who can be redeemed. They're not uncertain or afraid or trapped. They're just bad. And if we let them go, they report back, compromise everything. Kaladin, the rebellion, our position, all of it.
This whole thing. The battle yesterday, the burning ships, now executing prisoners, and before that, losing Celestia, Mite, and Alden. I'm not sure I'm cut out for this anymore, brother. I'm really not.
Hey, Saxy, look at me. I move closer to him, Joe, and grip his arm.
I look up at him.
I'd be more concerned if you thought you were cut out for it. If you enjoyed it, the fact that this is tearing you up, that you're questioning whether you can do this, that's not weakness. That's proof you're a good person. You're not incapable. You're just not a monster. There's a difference.
Doesn't feel like a difference right now.
I know, but it is.
What if I can't keep doing this? What if one day I just break?
Then you can join me in Raarh. We broke a long time ago.
Thanks, Tronald.
For what?
For not telling me to just toughen up. For not saying, this is war, get over it.
I'd never say that to you.
I know. That's why it means something. Joe, Saxy takes a deep breath, lets it out slowly. Some of the tension leaves his shoulders. So what do you need from me, besides the food creation?
You just recover, brother. You pulled a hell of a lot of weight this morning. Basically carried the entire team.
I mean, thanks.
Right. I'm heading back down. Oh, and Saxy, when you're relaxing up here, try not to brood too hard.
No promises.
Fair enough. But if you start writing sad poetry, I'm sending in the Raarh.
Fuck off. Get out of my crow's nest.
Going. Joe, I cast Featherfall on myself and jump off.
You cast Featherfall and drift down from the crow's nest. You land on deck. A few sailors notice and quickly look away, pretending they saw nothing. From Diego's cabin, you can hear muffled voices.
I just leave them to it, Joe.
Okay, nice. So, meanwhile, Thalmoon, what exactly would you be doing now?
I don't know. I'll be awake now. That's for certain anyway. I want to just have a stroll. See how things are doing and all that good stuff.
You walk out of your cabin quarters and head onto the deck. It's maybe 8 a.m. now, sun's properly up, crew's busy with morning tasks. You see Garrett leaving the captain's quarters and heading toward the ladders down to the hold.
I follow, Joe.
All right, so you follow him across the deck. He's got purpose in his step, doesn't notice you trailing behind. He climbs down the ladder into the hold, and you follow after. Down there, it's cramped, humid. Smells like too many people in too small a space. The prisoners are all still shackled in groups by Tronald's crystalline cuffs. But you notice something. There's a separate area at the far end of the hold that's been cleared out. Garrett's moving prisoners one by one from the main group to this isolated section.
Garrett? What's going on down here?
Garrett looks up, slightly surprised to see you.
Oh. Thalmoon. Captain's orders. We're separating the prisoners to interview them.
Makes sense. How's it going?
Slowly.
Garrett grabs another prisoner from the main group, looks like he's working off a list, and starts escorting him toward the ladder.
Excuse me?
Of course.
Garrett heads back up the ladder with the prisoner in tow. You're left standing in the hold with maybe 40 prisoners still in the main group, another 20 or so in the isolated section. Give me a perception check, Thalmoon.
That's a 17.
Nice. You overhear two people talking quite loudly. They're speaking in Zephyrian, not realizing you understand it perfectly. They're in the main group, maybe 10 feet from you, not bothering to keep their voices down because they assume no one can understand them. Actually, roll history for me.
That's a natural 20.
Holy shit. That's... okay. Give me a second here. Right, okay. As they speak, something in their accent triggers not your memory, but something deeper. Thalmeon's memory, bleeding through. It's an old accent, aristocratic, the way Zephyrian nobility spoke 2,000 years ago. Almost unchanged. The pronunciation, the cadence, the formality of it, it's like hearing an echo from the past. One of them is hiding their true status.
You're suggesting that, what? They're noble or something?
Or maybe more than noble. The accent is too pure, too maintained. That level of linguistic preservation doesn't happen by accident.
Joe, I stand up and walk over to where they're sitting, and in perfect high Zephyrian, I say, Your Grace maintains the old pronunciations beautifully.
Both prisoners freeze, like completely still. The one you're addressing, a younger man, maybe mid-20s, trying very hard to look common with torn clothes and dirt on his face, goes pale. Actually pale. The color drains.
I don't know what you mean.
The way you said water, aver, instead of the modern aver. Only 3 families still maintain that pronunciation. House Delmont, House Cruven, and House...
Please, I don't...
Joe, I turn to the... Wait, how many guards are at this gate?
There's 2 guards stationed at the main holding area entrance. They're watching you with mild interest, not really understanding what's happening since you're speaking Zephyrian.
I turn to them and ask them to get that man out. I want to speak to him. Privately.
Okay. So the guards exchange a glance. One of them, older sailor, grizzled, looks at you.
You sure, my lord? Captain said to keep him grouped unless he specifically calls for one.
I'm sure. I need to speak with this one. Now.
Right then.
They unlock the section, carefully, weapons ready in case anyone tries anything, and pull the young man out. He's shaking slightly, trying to maintain composure but failing. The other prisoners are watching with interest.
Follow me.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Somewhere quiet.
You lead him across the hold to the other side, where supplies and gear have been relocated now that the prisoners are occupying the 2 main storage area. There's crates stacked, coils of rope, spare canvas. It's more private here, away from the main group.
Joe, I pull out 2 crates and sit down, gesturing for him to sit also.
He sits still pale, hands trembling slightly. He won't meet your eyes.
How did you...
The slight lift on your consonants. The formal grammatical structures. You're trying to hide it, but you can't fully suppress 2 decades of linguistic training.
The young man's shoulders slump in defeat.
Please don't tell the others. If they know who I am...
They'll ransom you, or kill you for your family's politics.
Either. Both. My father's policies toward the common sailors haven't been popular. He's implemented harsh discipline, reduced pay for provincial fleets, prioritized the capital's navy over outlying regions.
And yet here you are, serving in an outlying fleet. Why?
I wanted to prove myself. to show I wasn't just my father's son, that I could earn respect through service.
What's your name? Your real name?
Zerion. Sire Marelis Zerion. Third son of Zeren Mar Marelis.
What that mean, Joe?
So you'd know a Zeren Mar's a Grand Admiral, and Sayer basically means seed of. It's a title reserved for the blood of the highborn, a way of marking someone as born from greatness, not yet carrying it.
Zerimar? Your father's a Grand Admiral?
Yes, commander of the Southern Naval Forces, second only to the Zeren Mar in the Zeren Kesh's northern fleet structure.
What's the third son of a Zeren Mar doing playing pirate?
Playing? I wasn't playing. I wanted to serve, to prove myself. Father said if I wanted respect, I had to earn it the same way he did, through naval service. So he arranged for me to serve under Zeren Mar Ishara in the northern fleets. 3 years of training, learning proper command, naval strategy, the works.
So, what happened? Why didn't you end up in the north with Zeren Mar Ishara, but rather the west?
Zerion looks down at his hands.
Because I was an idiot. A proud, stupid idiot. Zeren Mar Ishara. He's brilliant, decorated. Everything my father wanted for my education. But he treats third sons like we're decoration. Like we're there to observe, not participate. Every decision, every command, it all went through his blood heirs. I was just watching, taking notes, being polite.
So you left.
I requested a transfer. Told my father I wanted to learn from someone who'd let me actually do things, not just watch. Father was displeased. But he said if I wanted to prove I could handle real responsibility, I could serve 1 year under a lesser commander first. Show I could lead before rejoining Ishara.
And you chose Keshen Akaros Vrendaros.
I didn't choose him. Father assigned me to Zeran Mar Thasir in the western coastal fleets. But when I arrived, Thasir had been recalled to the capital. Political reasons. Something about the Golden Hand causing reshuffling of command. So I searched and I found my own way. To prove I was capable, you know? Even if it was only temporary.
And temporary became permanent.
Temporary became a trap. 2 weeks into my service, the orders started changing. Less patrol, more aggressive resource acquisition. Then, the communications from the capital stopped, and Akaros Vrendaros made it clear. Anyone who tried to leave would be branded a deserter and hunted down.
Well, that's hardly the distinguished service your father had in mind.
Don't you think I don't know that? We didn't have a choice. The Zeren Kesh wasn't sending supplies or pay anymore. We had to raid or starve.
And your father, a Zerenmar, a Grand Admiral, is happy for his son to be taking orders that would go directly against the Zeren Kesh's wishes from a mere Keshen Daros.
Zerion looks like he's been slapped.
My father doesn't know I'm here. He thinks I'm still with Zeren Mar Thasir's fleet. I sent letters through official channels, saying I'd been reassigned, but still under proper command. I never mentioned Akaros. Never mentioned that I was serving under a Keshen Daros instead of a Zeren Mar.
So you lied to your father about your chain of command?
Not directly. I let him assume things. Let him believe I was where I was supposed to be. Because, if he knew the truth, if he knew his son was serving under a minor noble turned pirate, it would destroy him. Destroy our family's reputation.
And you couldn't just leave? Desert?
Desert and go where? Back to my father and admit I failed. That I got trapped by my own pride. That I chose poorly and ended up a pirate. I'd rather die than face that shame.
So you're as much a prisoner now as you were then?
At least then I could pretend I had a choice. Now I'm literally in chains, or whatever in the hells this shit is. What even is this?
I think it's pee.
You think it's pee?
Either that, or seawater. Anyway, tell me about these raids. How many ships in your fleet?
10 vessels. Maybe a few more, depending on which ships were in port. But we're not the only fleet. Acheros Vrendaros has 3 fleets working different waters. Maybe 30 ships total under his command.
But when we came upon you, there were only 3 ships. What happened to the rest?
Zirian's face does something complicated. Fear, grief, horror all mixing together.
There was an incident 2 weeks ago.
What kind of incident?
8 of our ships were destroyed in minutes by one vessel.
Saxiron?
No, Ororosian. Imperial. Dreadnought class. The Maw of Solace.
Do I have any idea what this means, Joe?
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, that's an 11.
You have no idea what class of ship that is or what it's capable of, but Dreadnought sounds big, and Maw of Solace sounds ominous. Like naming a ship after the sun's mouth is the kind of thing you do when you want to intimidate people.
I see. That sounds intimidating. Big ship,
The biggest vessel I've ever seen in my life. Made our ships look like toys in comparison. But...
He takes a deep breath, and you can see him physically trying to gather courage to continue. Make a persuasion check to encourage him.
That's a 27 total, Joe.
Jesus. Okay. You lean forward slightly. Your tone shifts from interrogative to genuinely concerned. It's not manipulation, it's authentic interest, authentic care for what this young man went through. Zirian sees that and the dam breaks.
The survivors. There was only one survivor from 8 ships, and they said it was just one man.
What do you mean?
He was standing at the helm of the Maw of Solace. Just him. The ship moved impossibly fast, turned impossibly sharp. And the man, he never used cannons. He never gave orders. He just gestured. And ships would crack in half, catch fire from nothing, or get pulled under the waves.
Did anyone identify this man?
One survivor claimed to know him. Heard of him. Whatever you want to call it.
Who? Who was the man?
He said it was Admiral Cyrus Solarian, the Storm's Hand. The Emperor's...
Joe, do I know that name?
Roll history again.
That's a 15.
Now this is tough. Thalmoon has been doing a lot of catching up on real-world affairs recently, and some of that knowledge would have passed to you through the fragments of memory that bleed through. So, I'd say you're fairly certain that Admiral Cyrus Solarian is supposedly one of the Empire's most decorated naval commanders. But not just that. He's also Emperor Octavius's cousin. Direct bloodline. They call him the Storm's Hand because he allegedly can control weather at sea. Summon winds, call lightning, calm waters, or churn them into chaos. But most people dismiss those stories as sailors' tales. Exaggeration. Propaganda to make the Imperial Navy seem more fearsome than it is.
If Cyrus is hunting personally, if even half of what you've said is true, listen, I need to go. This information is... this changes things. Ugh. What? What was your name again?
My name was Zerion, sir.
Yes, of course. Samarellus Zerion.
But if you're going to tell your captains about me, about who my father is...
I'm not going to tell anyone you're the son of a Zarenmar. That's your secret to keep all revealed. But I am going to tell them about Solarian, about what happened to your fleet. That information could save lives.
Thank you, sir. Truly.
Don't thank me yet. We're still figuring out what to do with all of you. Follow me. Joe, I take him back to the cells.
You escort Zerion back to the main holding area. The guards let him back in with the others.
Joe, I head back up top and try to find someone, anyone to talk to. Tronald, Saxi, Diego, I don't care. The Solarian information is too important to sit on.
What about Raarh?
Well, maybe I care a little. Someone else.
Oi, you fucker!
You climb back up onto the deck. The sun's higher now, maybe 9 a.m. You can see Tronald coming out of your shared cabin looking like he just woke up. Saxi's still in the crow's nest. Diego's cabin door is closed, still interviewing prisoners. Raarh. Actually, what do you want to be doing right now, Raarh?
I don't know, just put me with Cook or something, helping him out.
Okay, cool. So you can hear Raarh's voice from near the galley area. Sounds like he's helping Cook with something and they're arguing about spices.
Noise!
I'm going to Tronald first. He's closest.
You walk over to Tronald, who's stretching and yawning.
Morning, Thalmoon. Sleep well?
We have a problem. A big one.
What kind of problem?
The Imperial kind. There's an admiral hunting these waters. Cyrus Solarian. He destroyed 8 ships with... I don't even know how to describe it. Magic? Divine power? One man, standing on a dreadnought, sinking entire vessels with gestures.
Slow down, Thalmoon. Start from the beginning.
Okay. I take a deep breath, Joe. So, I was in the hold. Overheard 2 prisoners speaking Zephyrian. They didn't know I could understand. One of them is nobility in hiding, son of a Zarenmar. Fuck, I wasn't supposed to mention that. Ah well, fuck it. Anyway, he told me about an incident 2 weeks ago. 8 ships destroyed in minutes by 1 Imperial vessel. But more specifically, by the one man who was commanding it. Admiral Cyrus Solarian.
Cyrus? Joe, do I know that name?
Give me a straight D20 roll. Just raw chance if Tanavir's memories have anything.
That's a 17.
Oh yes. Okay, so as Thalmoon says the name, something clicks. Not your memory. Tanavir's. A recollection from... Gods, what would it be? Like just over 20 years ago? You were at some imperial function, some formal gathering of officers and nobility. You remember this young man. Mid-20s maybe, arrogant, but in that way where you could tell he had the skill to back it up. Cyrus Solarian. Emperor Octavius's cousin. Or how you knew him at the time, Emperor Valerius's nephew. He was a captain then, rising fast through the naval ranks. What stood out was he was bored. Surrounded by nobility offering him positions, political marriages, comfortable posts. And he turned them all down. Said he wanted to earn his admiralty through action, not bloodline. You remember thinking he was either incredibly principled or incredibly ambitious. Probably both.
Holy shit. I know him, or knew him at least. 20 years ago, he was just a captain, ambitious, skilled, turned down every cushy position offered to him, wanted to earn his rank.
Well, he earned it. He's an admiral now. And according to Zerion's the prisoner I spoke to. Friendly guy, nice chap. Anyway, this Cyrus, he's got capabilities that shouldn't be possible.
Wait, this is important. We need more people for this. Saxi, get down here.
Are you shouting up to him, Tronald?
Yeah, shouting up to the crow's nest.
Up in the crow's nest, Saxi, you hear Tronald shouting your name. You had only just drifted off into a mid-morning nap.
What? Why are you shouting me?
It's important. Get down here now.
All right. Joe, I activate my suit and fly down before deactivating it again.
You don't bother with the rigging this time. The armor hums as the arcane mechanisms engage, that familiar thrum you felt 100 times now. The jump jets flare blue-white for just a second, and you launch yourself off the crow's nest platform. It's not really flying, more like controlled falling with style. You arc down toward the deck, armor compensating for trajectory, and land with a heavy thunk that makes the deck boards creak under the impact. The propulsion cuts off immediately. As you're straightening up, Bondover's walking past carrying a coil of rope. He stops, watches you, shakes his head, and laughs to himself.
Never gets old, Mechanist.
Better than climbing.
Can't argue with that.
Bondover, hold on a moment.
Aye, my lord. What's this about?
We need your expertise. Can you spare a few minutes?
Of course. Always got time when a friend asks.
He sets the rope down against a nearby crate and walks over, curious now. Saxy's already next to Tronald, Pendleton's eye starting to glow as it scans for whatever threat triggered the urgency.
What's going on? Are we under attack?
Not yet, maybe. Thalmoon, tell them what you told me. Everything.
Right. So I was in the hold. Overheard some prisoners talking in Zephyrian. One of them is the son of a Zarin Mar. Shit, I said it again. Anyway, that's basically a Grand Admiral in their navy. High nobility. He's been hiding his identity because the common sailors would kill him for his father's policies.
Zarin Mar Morellis. You're telling me you have Sarah Morellis Zarion beneath deck?
Huh?
I snapped my attention to him, Joe. You know him?
What? I know the major naval families. Morellis is a southern admiral. If his son's here, things must be desperate in Zephyria.
They are, but, well, that's not... The Golden Hand disappeared. The provincial governors are making power plays, and this Keshan Acheros turned his fleet to piracy. But that's not the important part. 2 weeks ago, 8 of their ships were destroyed. In minutes. By one Imperial dreadnought.
8 ships? I mean, it's impressive, but we did nearly 3.
That's what I thought. But Zirion said there were 12 survivors. All of them told the same story. One man standing at the helm of this massive ship called the Mauve Solis. And the man, this, Cyrus, never used cannons. Just gestures. He'd raise his hand and ships would crack in half, or catch fire from nothing, or get pulled underwater like something was dragging them down.
Bondover goes completely still. The color drains from his face. His hand grips the rope he was carrying so tight his knuckles go white.
Sweet merciful gods.
His voice is barely above a whisper, then louder with real fear in it.
The Storm's Hand. The Storm's Hand is in these waters.
The what?
Admiral Ceres Salarian boy. Every sailor from here to the Shattered Isles knows that name. Every port, every tavern, every ship. They all whisper it like you whisper death itself. The Storm's Hand.
Bondover's actually shaking now. This grizzled veteran who's sailed 40 years, who's faced storms and battles and sea monsters without flinching, he's shaking.
I seen men who faced him. Survivors. Broken men, Tronald. Broken in ways that don't heal. They wake up screaming about the water pulling them down. About their ship snapping like kindling in a giant's hand. One man I knew, he never went back to sea. Not once. Took up farming inland. Said he'd rather starve than see the ocean again.
Bondover, are the stories true? Can he actually...
True. True. My lord, the stories don't even scratch the surface. They call him the Storm's Hand, cause he can call the weather itself. I heard he once becalmed an entire pirate fleet. 30 ships for 3 days straight. Not a breath of wind, while his own ships had gale force at their backs. Picked them off one by one while they sat there helpless, just waiting to die.
That sounds like propaganda. Stories. Fear tactics to make sailors afraid of...
No, Mechanist, you don't understand. I never met a sailor who faced Salarian and called the stories exaggeration. Never. Not once in 40 years. Every single one says it worse than the tales. Worse than what we tell in ports. The man is a living nightmare, wrapped in an admiral's coat.
Bondover's breathing hard now, almost hyperventilating.
Ships don't just sink when he comes. They break. They scream. Metal screams, my lord. I've heard survivors talk about it. The sound of iron and wood screaming as it tears apart. And the water itself turns against you. Pulls you down like it's alive. Like it's hungry.
You've never seen him yourself?
Thank the gods, no. And I pray every night. I never do. I've seen enough of what he leaves behind. Debris fields that don't make sense. Wood twisted in ways wood shouldn't twist. Bodies that drowned in calm water. And the silence, they say. After he passes, the ocean goes silent. No birds, no fish. Just Nothing. Like even the sea itself is afraid.
Jesus Christ, bond over.
You don't understand, my lord. You asking me about stories, about if they're real. They're real. And if that man is in these waters, if he out there right now, within a week's sailing.
Bondover looks at each of you in turn, and there's genuine terror in his eyes.
You better start believing in stories, Mechanist, because you're living in one now.
He's the Emperor's cousin. I remember him from 20 years ago. Incredibly skilled even then, if he spent 2 decades honing whatever abilities he has.
Pendleton, can you determine if this is magic or technological?
Analyzing described capabilities, hypothesis, combination of advanced naval technology, weather manipulation, magic, and possible divine heritage.
No fucking way.
Huh?
Do you think he possesses an Eterian?
I would hate to think that. Like, surely not.
Joe, would I know if this would be possible?
Intelligence check.
That's a 15.
With a 15, you're pulling from Tanavir's memories, specifically his knowledge of the Imperial bloodlines. You're almost 100% certain that Cyrus, Octavius, and Valerius had 0 Omnitheon bloodline. None. Which makes you quite comfortable in thinking that they wouldn't be able to harness an Eterian, at least not in the traditional sense. But then again, just because Valerius wasn't Omnitheon doesn't mean that Cyrus couldn't be, depending on his mother's side. You don't know who Cyrus's mother was. That knowledge isn't in Tanavir's memories.
How do we even confirm this?
I have no idea. Maybe when we find this Cyrus, we can politely ask him to do a blood test?
Oh my god, Thalmoon.
You planning on asking the Storm's Hand for his genealogy? Before or after he sinks us?
No, there's someone who might know. Joe, I'm going to cast Tanavir's projection.
Oh shit! Okay, who are you wanting to talk to?
I want to talk to Cassia Velis.
Why would she... Oh, right. Because Cyrus would be her... what exactly?
Cousin once removed, technically. But yes, if anyone might know about Omnitheon bloodline in that family, it could be her.
Alright, so you start casting Tanavir's projection. You feel the magic building in your chest, that familiar sensation of Tanavir's power flowing through you. Your hands begin to glow with soft golden light, and you trace sigils in the air in front of you. The sigils hang there, shimmering, forming a rectangular frame about 3 feet wide and 4 feet tall. The air inside the frame starts to ripple like water, then clarifies into an image. Not quite solid, more like looking through a very clear window. You're looking at a study, library, bookshelves, a desk, someone moving in the background.
Cassia!
Before you can even finish the name, she's already turning. She felt the portal opening. Of course she did. She's sitting at a desk covered in maps and documents, wearing practical scholar's robes, hair tied back. Her hands already glowing with defensive magic before she recognizes the spell signature. The glow fades.
Tanavir, you're interrupting what was almost a productive morning. This had better be important.
It is. I need information about your family.
My family? How delightful. And here I thought we'd discuss something pleasant, like the weather. What specifically about my dysfunctional bloodline requires urgent magical communication?
Admiral Sarah Solarian, your father's cousin. What do you know about him?
Her expression shifts. The sarcasm drops for a moment, replaced by something more serious.
The Storm's Hand. Why are you asking about Cyrus?
Because we believe he's in these waters, and the things he's capable of, they're not normal, Cassia. Ships breaking apart from gestures, weather control, abilities that suggest either divine heritage or...
Or he possesses an Aterion. That's what you're really asking, isn't it?
Yes.
Straight to the point. I appreciate that, at least. The answer is, I have no idea. Would you like the long explanation of why I'm utterly useless in this regard? Or should we skip to the part where you're disappointed?
Cassia...
My father, the illustrious Emperor Octavius, has no Omnitheon blood. Neither did his father, nor his father before him. We're a long, tedious line of ambitious mortals who clawed our way to power through violence and political marriages. Nothing divine about us whatsoever.
What about Cyrus's mother, your father's aunt or uncle?
Ah, yes, the parent of my dear cousin, who I've never met. Not once, ever.
Never?
Tanavir, let me paint you a picture of what it means to be the Emperor's bastard. I grew up outside his reach, physically, geographically, politically. Close enough to his influence that everyone knew whose blood ran in my veins. Far enough that I was never acknowledged. No invitations, No family visits, no tearful letters, just distance, and the occasional reminder that my existence was inconvenient.
So you have no information about the Imperial family at all?
I know what I've pieced together from intelligence gathering, from whispers, from the Empire's dirty little secrets that I've spent years uncovering. But family genealogies, bloodline details, who married whom and which ancient house they came from, that's not information they share with bastards they pretend don't exist.
You never even saw them from a distance?
Why would I? Bastards aren't brought to court. We're not paraded at state functions or coronations. We're kept away, Tanavir. Hidden. I learned my father's name from the people who raised me, not from him. I learned about the Empire by watching from the outside, by becoming very good at gathering information nobody wanted me to have.
There's something sharp in her voice. Controlled anger, maybe, or just acceptance of a brutal truth.
So no, I have no idea about Cyrus's parentage. I don't know if his mother or father had Omnithion ancestry. I don't know if there's divine blood anywhere in that branch of the family tree. For all I know, they could trace their lineage back to the gods themselves. Or they could be as tediously mortal as I am. I wouldn't know the difference.
I'm sorry, Cassia, I shouldn't have assumed...
Don't apologize. You had a logical question, and you asked the person who should have had answers. It's not your fault that my family decided I wasn't worth including in their genealogical records.
And with that, she hangs up on you.
What the fuck? How can she hang up on me?
Dunno, but she did.
Ha! That's spicy!
Right, so what exactly did we learn from that?
Pendleton, give us a summary of that whole conversation. Keep it reasonably brief, and avoid blabbing on.
Acknowledged. Summary. Cassia Velis possesses 0 actionable intelligence regarding Admiral Cyrus Solarian's bloodline or potential Omnithion heritage. She was raised outside Imperial family structures with no direct contact with relatives. Emperor Octavius and his paternal line confirmed to have no divine ancestry. Cyrus's parent, sibling of Emperor Valerius, remains unknown to Cassia. Conclusion? Cannot confirm or deny Eterian possession hypothesis. Tactical recommendation. Assume worst-case scenario. Solarian possesses either Eterian or equivalent magical capability.
So basically, we learned nothing except that we should be terrified.
We also learned that Cassia can be surprisingly blunt when she's annoyed.
Oh, I knew that already.
And that she has no problem hanging up on the future Emperor of Auroros.
Apparently not.
My lord, with respect, whether the man got divine blood or magic rock don't matter. What matter is he out there, and we still sailing toward where we think he been. The question is, what we doing about it?
We post extra lookouts, we stay vigilant, and if we spot the Maw of Solace, we run or sail. Fast as we can, whatever direction is away.
And if we can't outrun it?
5 seconds pass, and nobody has an answer for that. The question just hangs there.
I'll organize the watch rotations. Double lookouts, all quarters. Anything bigger than a fishing boat gets reported immediately.
Good. Thank you, Bondover.
Bondover nods and heads off to start organizing. You're left standing on deck, Tronald, Saxy, and Thalmoon, with the morning sun warming the wood beneath your feet and the knowledge that somewhere out there, within a few days' sailing, is possibly a very dangerous man.
Bondover, do you think he killed him? Do you think Reeves' ship has been destroyed?
The plausible deniability is a good ship, but it ain't no fortress. Against a dreadnought commanded by Solarian, they wouldn't stand a chance.
But why would Solarian target a supply ship? How would he even know it belonged to the rebellion?
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just saw an unmarked vessel in waters he's patrolling and engaged.
Or maybe the Empire knows more about our operations than we think.
Additional consideration. Why is an admiral of Solarian's rank personally patrolling these waters? Admirals command from flagships, coordinate fleets. Direct engagement with pirates is tactically inefficient use of command-level resources.
That's a good point, actually. Admirals don't hunt pirates.
Unless he's hunting something specific.
Like what?
I don't know. But he sounds like he was a man of action, liked getting involved. So Who's to say he looked at the status quo, thought fuck it, ripped it up, and took a giant dump on it?
Yummy analogy.
Hey folks, if you've been enjoying the series, the best way to support it is over on Patreon. They take the smallest cut, you'll always be notified when new episodes drop, and you can even listen screen locked. Plus, if you like watching on your TV, every post includes an unlisted YouTube link so you can still cast it straight to the big screen. Links are below, and truly, thank you for helping keep this world alive.